on their altars. You want what Benny Hinn has. There's a pastor in Nigeria called Pastor Ibiomi. He needed what Benny Hinn had, began to sow upward into Benny Hinn. Pastor Chris needed what Benny Hinn has, sowed upward. Papa sows upward into, he was telling us yesterday, we do the same. We sow into graces that we don't have. Hebrews 7:7, the lesser is blessed by the greater. When you see somebody who has graces that you need, some of you want to build houses, mansions. This is the altar to give to build mansions. The amen has gone. The amen is coming. I wanted to write books, serious books. I began to sow into people who have written serious books. I wanted my books to sell. I sold into people whose books are selling. My books are selling. I'm in Ghana and I'm getting orders by PayPal in Ghana, in Bishop's house. Orders are coming. Altars. We had a relationship summit yesterday in London, big one. Bishop said, come to Ghana and preach to my pastors. I dropped it and came. I is not a fool. When you see something good, my father said, it is foolishness not to sow into something that is gainful to you. It is foolishness not to sow into something that is gainful to you. When you see something that is gainful to you, it is a wise thing to sow into it to become it. Everything you want to become, anyone you want to become, sow upward into their life through service, through tithe, through prayer, through sacrificial giving. That's how you attract the graces that they walk in. Kenneth Copeland sowed into the Higgins, Keith Moore into the Higgins, Creflo Dollar into the Kenneth Copelands. You see, these things work. They work. You just have to start working it. Stop looking at the little that you have. Sow from the little you have. Sacrificial seeds. What is a sacrifice? A sacrifice is something that you do for somebody else, something that you do for the benefit of somebody else at the expense of you. Something that will cost you something. When it was time for David to cancel the national plague, he went to Arona to buy the land. When he got to the land to buy it, the man said, because you're a king, I want to give it to you for free. Listen to David. I will not give God that which does not cost me anything. You see, these days we have a lot of Christians who want everything free. These days they don't even stay in churches anymore. They have turned churches into drive-thrus, take-away centers. I hear that in CEM, they do shege and then your baby comes. They do shaga and then your money comes. They do kre, and then miracles are happening. So I'm just going there to do kre, shaga, and then collect my miracle. And then no. This clapping is suspect on the left-hand side. We hear there's a miracle going, or the miracle being produced somewhere. So we drive through, like KFC, we drive through CEM and expect the pastor to drop a miracle baby through the window. Drop a contract, drop something. You are when you get your miracle in the church, you're supposed to stay in the church and use that miracle to build the place. When the man at the beautiful gate with an ugly situation got his miracle, guess where he went? First place, into the church. Peter's mother-in-law was sick, got his healing, went straight to the kitchen to cook for Jesus and the disciples, to serve the altars there. Fire only comes down in response to sacrifices. A stage is for entertainment. An altar is for manifestations. A stage is for orators. An altar is for downloading oracles. On the stage, man meets man and celebrates man. On an altar, we celebrate God. Am I talking to somebody in the house? The power of altars. I see your altars release major breakthroughs in your life. I said, I see your altars release major breakthroughs in your life. He said, give, and it shall be given back to you, good measure. Watch this. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. That is given to your altars, your church altars. Barrenness is terminated. Immigrationlessness is terminated. There are many people in our church who came there immigrationless. One day they said to some of them, pack your bag. Can you believe this? A family of 9. The Home Office said half of them should go back to Jamaica and half of them should stay. And so they called me and they said, Bishop, they said we are being deported. I said, nonsense. Carry on doing what you are doing. No need for prayer. You see, some people wait for situations, then now they are doing kaba, kelewele. No. When you give sacrifices on altars, situations don't move you. Because God arises in your defense. He said, I will fight for you and you shall hold your peace. You see, sacrifices become memorials. Altars, sacrifices on altars become memorials. Cornelius gave alms to the needy and was a prayer machine. These two qualities qualify this man for an apostolic visitation. They said you pray and you give alms. He said, God said, I have heard your prayer and I've seen your alms. I am sending an apostle to your house. When you give to altars of your church, your givings become a memorial before God. Are you understanding what I'm talking about? The woman with the alabaster ointment serviced Jesus. Jesus himself was an altar. You see, men of God are altars, so everywhere they go, they carry the anointing with them. They carry their gift with them. Your pastor doesn't have to be in church for you to see miracles. You see him on the street, you can get your miracle. Jesus, they touch the hem of Jesus' garment, not inside church. We carry the anointing everywhere we go. We are living, walking altars. We are living, walking altars. We don't have to wear a suit before we say it is done. When you give to your church, it's an altar. You give to us, we are altars. Kalabada, rabadakapata, shaganda kayanda kaya. My tongues has come. Marakatayada. I see somebody's story change here today. Living altars. Cornelius gave and prayed, became a memorial. The woman with the alabaster ointment gave to Jesus, poured. Listen to what Jesus said. Everywhere the gospel is preached from today, this woman's name will be remembered. Why? She gave to Jesus as a minister. He who receives a prophet in the office of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. These are dangerous people. Everybody say, these are dangerous people. Your man of God is a dangerous man. When I say dangerous, I mean he carries weight. He carries